All right, we're here again in the Sacred Valley. We actually had some interesting situations happened. 2 days ago, the president was removed, and so there's people striking in the streets. Currently, the vice president is now the president, but they're wanting a new election, which is good. But basically, for the last 40 minutes, we've been evading protesters on horseback through the Andes Mountains, which is very interesting. And it's a beautiful scenery to do so.
But it's been an exciting ride.
They shut down all the real roads, and so we ended up riding down the railroad tracks, and people were driving down them, and it was crazy. So, all right, guys. So earlier we were fleeing on horseback through the roads, the back alleys, because there was a coup on the day that we landed, and it was successful. And then after that, there's been civil unrest. They appointed the second, the VP, and they put her in charge, but she's the same political party. And so what ended up happening was there's unrest, and then she was like, oh, there's not going to be elections until 2026. And the entire nation erupted immediately into protests.
So far, like 4 people have been killed.
There's been 4 people killed, and
it's interesting.
yeah, but the rest of the place is actually pretty reasonable. So the protesters aren't for or against, or a lot of them aren't for or against things, like the political parties. They just want another election. And so that was just kind of interesting. So behind us, you can see in Plaza de Armas, the heart of Cusco, there's currently a protest going on. It's a lot more calm. When we were fleeing,
Yeah,
you know,
that was not as.
yeah, we were kind of in the boonies.
A lot more of a dicey situation.
We had protesters block the streets off, not allow anyone to pass, and we were on a horseback tour, and then the horses started to freak out because people were also fleeing, driving down the horse paths that shouldn't be driven on, and everyone was basically trying to get out of the way. We'll get to work. So, anyways, we'll keep you updated.
Yep.
This is what it's like to be inside of a country that had a military coup, or a coup.
Yep.
And so far, it's pretty chill, kind of like a normal day. I just wanted to call attention to something that David just noticed. So there's a protest going on over there, but also right next to it is a wedding going on.
There's a bride taking bridal pictures.
Bride taking bridal pictures.
Next to.
So everyone's pretty much not very concerned. All right, and we've now ventured closer. The protests, not too big, but you can see over by the church, up against the wall, is the military police with riot shields. If anything gets out of hand. All right, guys. So behind us is one of the main ways through town. I'm gonna turn you guys around so you can see. And the protests are erupting where they're just standing there blocking traffic. The police are like, "Oh, get out of here!" And everyone's just standing there with signs protesting. Okay, so we're here in downtown Plaza de Armas, the center of Cusco. And there's an interesting thing happening behind me. There's 2 factions of protests. As of last night, there are 7 people in the country dead.
Most of them by accident.
Most of them by accident, where there's like, oh, we're gonna close off a road, and someone swerved, and then they careened off a cliff or something like that. But the protests have shut down the Cusco airport. I don't believe that we're gonna be able to get out. We were supposed to leave tomorrow, so we'll keep you updated with that. There's 2 factions of protests behind us, for and against the current president. And waiting in the wings, hidden, is actually the police with riot shields and stuff. So they are kind of dispersed everywhere.
The military is not here anymore.
Yeah, but the military is gone. The military were here the first day. Now it's just the police. So kind of interesting stuff. And here's a different set of protests. This one is in favor of new elections, and they're demanding new elections. The ones from earlier we saw, those were for Castillo and were the Socialist Party. And this is everybody else in the country. So apparently the populace is split 50-50, and it's roughly the poor in the mountains are pro Castillo, and everybody else is like, come on, let's get new elections.
Are they a special riot squad? Kind of.
Looks like we just missed it, but the air's smoky and it smells like gunpowder in the air. Not sure what's going on. So now we're here, we're back at Plaza de Armas, and they want an election, where the people earlier this morning were in favor of the old guy. And this is a different group than the one we just passed.
And the air smells like gunpowder.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see a haze in the air. That haze is gunpowder. It could have been a firework, but I don't know. Okay, this is the 4 election people. And there are reports of folks hitting protesters hitting tourists with sticks. Something is happening. Everyone reverse direction. Someone's reverse direction. They're all slamming through that small alley. Okay, so we're here, and this is no joke. Told you about the square had cleared up for the soccer game. The soccer game ended 5 minutes ago. It seriously did. And so their protesters are now starting to regroup in the streets. Everyone seriously took a break to watch the soccer game. But everyone should be in a good mood because Argentina won against Croatia. All right, Plaza de Armas is calm for the moment. There's actually a crap ton of people out. Mainly all the trapped tourists. All right, guys, so so we're here at Plaza de Armas. Things are calm. The military came in yesterday to lay down the law, literally lay down the law. And but we still might be trapped. We're not sure yet. But I was texting and video chatting my girlfriend. She's in Africa right now, and she's a badass. And she can't do anything. So she was like, well, I guess you're just Peru Hugh now, so I hope you find a job. So I gotta stop being tourist Hugh. So I had to buy a new hat so I can fit in. So I don't look like a tourist. So I got a hat so I can blend in better. So here we go. We'll take you around the rest of Peru, since I'm Peru Hugh now. That flag there?
It's one of the flags they use, yeah.
So in Peru, there's curfews, and no one's allowed to be protesting, but you can go about your daily business. But this is what we're looking at right now. What's that one say? Okay, we have more people joining. I'd like to show you the entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well. People are selling things. We have vendors trying to make money. All right, so there's 2 more fires now. One's over there in the valley. Another one is up here in the bowl in a different valley. I don't know how we can see it. You guys can see it in the light there. There's another fire. Looks like they've gotten the one that was close to us put out. Here we are. And Star Pass is saving our butt. That was a good $8 spent. Look at this. No? Woo! Woo! Alright guys, you're not gonna believe this, but we made it to Lima. And the plane flapped when we touched down. It was only 3 days extra that we were stranded, but it felt a lot longer because the places were like running out of food and stuff. We survived the first siege of Cusco since 1537. And so now we're gonna pick up our bags, and I'm gonna grab a beer and then go to the Airbnb. What do you think, David?
It's a quagmire.
Bum bum ba da ba bum 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 ba da ba bum bum.